The good times are just beginning on Hilton Head Island for this year's RBC Heritage, as today marked the first day of play for the premier event. WSAV's Andrew Davis is joining us live with more on the happenings there. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Tina. So much. A beautiful day out here and a great first round thus far for the RBC Heritage right here at Harbortown Golf Course. The big time here is you've got to understand what it takes to make this all run, and including that is the volunteers. More than 2,000 of them on this course and throughout this golf club to make it happen. I talked to one of those with a special story. Mark Milkey nearly died 2 decades ago. Now he's back and can't wait to be back again and again and again every year.
2002, I was ultimately diagnosed with an illness, and it's an autoimmune disease. It's a vascular disease. I went through a lot: lungs, liver, kidneys shut down, strokes and seizures, in a coma for 7.5 weeks, in the hospital for almost 8.5 months, walking on prosthetics, which the first time I thought there's just no way this is going to happen. But you work at it over time. When I started to get well enough that I knew, okay, I'm moving forward with my life, I was a golfer, and I worked at a golf course in high school. It's an athletic and a competitive outlet for me, and so I throw my heart and soul into it again. I'm not exaggerating any little bit when I say I think about golf a lot. I don't really think of like, oh, I should do this because it'll look in a certain way. I do it because I want to do it and I'm capable of doing it. One of the things that I have committed to doing is looking at what I can do, not what I can't. And then what I can do, I embrace it, and I really try to enjoy it and take 0 days for granted. If someone sees this and gets motivation from it, and it maybe motivates them to try just to do whatever that little more could be, whether it's play golf or get down on the ground with your grandchild. That's what I think. I love that happens.
Mark will be at 17 all weekend long doing his volunteer bit, and in between, by the way, he's already found a way to get 2 rounds of golf in too, so good for him. He's ready to take it on again next year. Well, Joey's going to have full highlights of a big round of golf in round 1 right here from the RBC Heritage, and remember, go to WSAV Plus at 7 o'clock. We've got a full hour-long show wrapping up all the highlights and everything else in the sights and sounds right here from Harbortown. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Thank you, Andrew. A Waycross Police Department detective is back on the job after he was accused of assaulting his girlfriend. The allegations caused some in the community to take to social media in outrage. Now, in an exclusive interview with WSAV, the woman involved is talking about the alleged abuse. This as the case has been turned over to the district attorney's office. Our Sarah Smith brings us the story you'll only see on News 3. But we do want to warn you, some of the images are disturbing.
A broken nose, busted lip, bruises, and even damage to her spine. 23-year-old Tristan Music says she got these injuries at the hands of her former boyfriend, who is a police officer. She tells me she put up with this alleged abuse to try and keep her family together. But she says in January, she decided enough was enough and no one is above the law.
I don't believe that it's safe that he continues to patrol or even work as a detective knowing that he hurts people the way he does.
Tristan Music says she dated Waycross Police Department Detective Mark Horn for over a year.
The beginning of it was great. He was a completely different person than who he ended out to be.
Music said the abuse started shortly after she found out they were pregnant with a baby girl in January 2025.
But I still stuck around because I was pregnant and I wanted a family and I didn't want my daughter to grow up in a separated home.
She says when she tried to leave, Horn would physically stop her.
He would hold me or throw me around, slam doors, throw things to make sure that I didn't leave. He was really verbally abusive too, mentally, verbally, financially, the whole 9.
Music provided WSAV with text messages between herself and Horn. One read, quote, "I want to hurt you." Another, "I want you to pass out." She says the relationship ended January 10th, 2026 after a fight that left her with several injuries.
My nose was broke. I had to miss 2 weeks of school because I couldn't show my face in class because my face was so swollen. I couldn't speak because of the damages to my throat and because of the laceration to my lip.
According to the Waycross Police Department, this physical altercation was investigated by WPD and the Brantley County Sheriff's Office, but they concluded Horn's actions were in self-defense from an armed individual. Music, however, says this statement is false, and she says she was not the primary aggressor.
It's not just random people, it's even the people that he loves, the mother of his child, his girlfriend that he's lived with for however long. He has no remorse for what he does. He enjoys it.
Music tells me she's still getting medical treatment for her injuries. Just yesterday, she said she had a procedure to help with her back pain caused by a spine fracture. She tells me she hopes to settle this in court soon and to get primary custody of their child. We will keep you updated on air and online as this develops. Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Sarah, thank you. 2 teenagers accused in a deadly shooting have pleaded not guilty to their charges. Franklin James Jr. and Terrence Green Jr. are facing murder charges for the shooting and killing of Antonio Thornton Jr. this past December in Bloomingdale. We're told Bloomingdale police arrived at the Magnolia Lane apartments and found Thornton's body with a gunshot wound. He later died at the scene. James and Green were arrested in connection to the shooting. They are due back in court on May 27th. Tonight, we are getting a closer look at the rescue efforts from that devastating fire this past weekend. A video shared on social media shows fire crews setting up ladders at Georgetown Oak Apartments, managing to save several people from the blaze. Thanks to the quick response by Chatham County Fire and local law enforcement, all residents were able to make it out safely. Well, city officials are warning drivers to slow down when workers are on the road. This comes after 2 sanitation workers were hit by a car while on the job over the past 3 weeks. WSAV's Isley Herschel now with more on what officials are saying.
The Move Over law has been in place in Georgia for 20 years, and it's not just for emergency vehicles, it's for construction workers as well. This law states drivers need to move over one lane when emergency, sanitation, or utility vehicles are stopped on the side of the road. Drivers must do this only when it's safe, otherwise they need to slow down. This can help keep not only workers, but also drivers safe. Jill Nagel with the Georgia Department of Transportation, or GDOT, says the roads serve as an office for these workers, and it's important to pay attention when you're driving.
If you see any kind of strobes or flashing lights on vehicles from blue, red, yellow, that means something's going on that roadway. So you need to slow down for the safety of the people that are trying to assist other people or make the roads better.
Some major tips from both police and GDOT: slow your driving, pay attention, and if you see construction workers or police on the side of the road, pull over to the other lane if you can. In Savannah, Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3, on your side.
For years, the Historic Savannah Foundation has worked to fix up blighted and vacant homes throughout the city. Now their mission has extended into a new neighborhood. WSAV's Jillian Coles has a closer look in tonight's community report.
This home in Carver Village, which was built in 1964, is getting a new story. The Historic Savannah Foundation and homebuyers of Savannah have given it an upgrade while also expanding affordable housing for local families.
Collier Neely, CEO of Historic Savannah Foundation, says the nonprofit's mission for 70 years has been to preserve the history of the city's homes. Now they are extending the program into Carver Village, starting with a home on Wexler Street.
917 Wexler came to us in 2024, and the owner who sold it to us specifically asked that we make it affordable housing.
Neely says this 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home needed major repairs.
Where you were standing was overgrown. And over here there was a giant bush, so when you were driving down the road, you couldn't really even see the house.
Working with home buyers of Savannah, the team cleared the property, completely renovated the structure, all while respecting Carver Village historic guidelines.
We restored it to the original colors, so you can see this like brick facade here. That's the original brick. That's the original color scheme. So we went back in time 60 years ago, it should look pretty close to this.
The project was funded through the foundation's revolving fund, privately raised money used to restore over 400 properties across Savannah. Now 917 Wexler is back on the market, and according to Neely, it's one of the most affordable move-in ready homes in the city.
We're happy to present this as proof in the pudding, if you will, for what our motivations are, what our goals are for the long term and preserving historic places across the city, and then being a community asset that people can come in and be a part of.
They say this is just the beginning in Carver Village. Their goal is to continue buying and revitalizing more homes right here in this community. To find more information on their efforts, head to WSAV.com. Reporting in Savannah, Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3, on your side.